Hello there, my name's Thomas. Welcome to this latest episode of British Culture, Albion Never Dies. Over the last few weeks I've been talking about the challenges of coming back to the UK after so many years abroad, one of which is simply finding a place at a time when there is a significant housing shortage in the UK, especially for small, affordable places. I'm just looking for a little flat close to where I live, and for a long time there was just nothing in that little village, and then last week lots came along at once. I viewed 5 different homes and put in for a few different flats going. Every time a flat goes up, lots of people apply, so I wasn't too surprised when I was rejected for one. I wasn't too surprised that I've heard nothing about another. The agents are just run ragged at the moment, and I was surprised and delighted when I got a phone call today to say that I've been accepted for one, and one that I like very, very much. Of course, there's still many checks, and it's challenging because I've not spent much time in the UK, so finding all the right bits of evidence that they want is tricky because I don't have all that history, but I'm going through the checks. Fingers crossed it can all go smoothly, and then, well, in about 6 weeks' time I'll be able to move in to a place of my own. Right now I'm staying with a friend in a little village, just stepped out for a little walk, and beautiful countryside here. That's one thing I've very much appreciated coming back to the UK. I work in another little village that's just down the road. It only takes 20-30 minutes by Uber. I don't have a car, but by public transport it can take a long time. But of course, because I've been going in and out of that village all the time this week, I've had to travel on the buses, and that can take, well, hour and a half, a couple of hours, even longer. There'd been huge power cuts in the village, and the fault, it was just a corroded wire, but the road had to be dug up, new traffic lights put in, temporary ones, and a lot of the busy intersection was changed into just a one-way system, so there was traffic chaos. And it's all been cleaned up remarkably quickly. All the faults seems to have been repaired, but yeah, it's been a lot of trouble with transport. So I've had some entertaining times, starting, I think, from when I went to Bradford Interchange. Oh, wow, cyclists zooming past. Bradford Interchange, just standing in line, waiting for a bus, and a gentleman shorter than myself, older than myself, came along and just said, "I'm going to stand next to you because you're white, and you're the only person." Bradford is Asian majority, that is East Asian majority in the city centre. Mostly people there are of Pakistani origin, moved here in the 60s and 70s. There's a big disaster, I think a flood in Pakistan, and there's a shortage of manpower in the mills, and so a huge number of Pakistanis moved over, and so there are particular districts that are very, very Asian indeed. And the gentleman had very strong views about this, as you might tell from his opening line. I wasn't quite sure how old he was. He looked how some people look at 50, and some people look at 60. Turned out he was 85, and upon telling me this, as he was happy to share, he asked me to feel his bicep, which was a bit hesitant to do, but I felt as the man had sinews of steel, and he explained that he had been Britain's champion boxer, way back, I think, in the 50s. He had led a lively life, having been with the army with the Duke of Wellington Regiment, Cyprus, Malta, fought for Britain a number of ways, but especially enjoyed boxing, and then explained how he came back and enjoyed a lively life in the UK, going in and out of prison a few times for minor offences. Did come across the infamous Cray twins in prison, and apparently shocked them with his strong views on the world. Anyway, ended up sitting next to this fella, enjoying his life story as we went up to his district. Of course, when he was born, brought up, raised there, it was all white. That's the way the country was back then, and he's gradually seen it change over the course of his lifetime, so that now, well, I think he's the last white man left in that neighbourhood. He sees no reason why he should move out. And like I say, he had very strong, very loud, very vocal views. Apparently he's very well known in the area. I believe it. But it was interesting to hear his life story, as I say. And I said that was probably the first interesting and entertaining thing that happened to me on the buses in Bradford. My second bus adventure came when I went from Bradford to Leeds to watch the new Elvis movie. A friend had bought me a ticket, so very happy to go. There was a bit of a challenge, which is that normally I take the train in and the trains are on strike. But there's buses that go as well, but one company was on strike, so there's just one bus left. So able to get in pretty well, watch the movie. I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more than my friend who's an Elvis fan, but he'd seen other biopics. Apparently there's one in 1978 with Kurt Russell that's really, really good, but I haven't seen it. I didn't know about that. He was questioning why they cherry-picked this bit of his life and not that bit of his life, but again, I don't know his life. So for me, another Baz Luhrmann spectacular, the man who did Moulin Rouge and Australia. Oh, Romeo plus Juliet. I thought that was his best. But yeah, it was another big screen spectacular from the man. But taking the bus back, there was very, very limited transport options. So the bus was packed. It was packed, not quite like a bus in China, but it was packed in beyond what health and safety normally allow in the UK. The bus driver was just letting people on at the station, saying, look, he knows that other transport options are closed down, so he was just letting as many as possible get on. Then he was driving past one bus stop, past another bus stop, lots of people there waiting, angry fists being shaken as the bus goes past them, and then they slowly realise, oh wait, it really is full. Then he starts to get out of Leeds, he drives past, a bus stop with one person, drives past a bus stop with maybe two people, and then he sees one with two fellas, stops and picks them up. Now the bus driver is Asian, that is, he is Pakistani. The two men he's picked up are Pakistani, they're laughing and joking away, and a woman at the back kicks off, pushes her way to the front and starts yelling, hang on, you've passed a whole bunch of white people as you've been driving along, you've passed just a single man waiting at a bus stop, and you've let on two of your own. And the bus driver's, oh no, it's not, there's no such thing as my own. And she's like, there is, because you've picked those two up. And she was really having a go at him, and he's like, I won't pick up any more. And there was a big commotion because people felt he had picked up too many. It was packed, as I say, beyond what health and safety would allow. If there was an accident, he would have paid a price. If the police had seen it, he'd have probably paid a price. So he had taken a risk picking up those two. But he carried on driving, and then said to the people at front, I'm going to get right off as soon as we're at the station. And as soon as we got to Bradford, he did fling open his little door and just ran out of the bus into some hidden corner of the station as fast as he could. And there was a Nigerian lady sitting next to me who was like, he's scared of the lady. Anyway, happened to be that she and I were going the same way, so we both sat down on the bus. And who did we see come on but the same bus driver who had clearly been hiding for a good 10-15 minutes in some corner of the bus station, because it's a direct route across, but he didn't take it, so he didn't want to be hunted down by this lady taking him to task. Again, no crazy bus stories for all this time, 3 at once. First one, the gentleman, second one, the driver. This third one is also the driver of another bus that I took, getting into Bradford Cathedral on Sunday. Seemed uneventful, except the bus stopped, engine turned off, driver got out. I was slightly puzzled what he's doing. Normally that only happens in an emergency. The bus driver's only supposed to get out. I mean, if he's desperate for the bathroom, he can use a public toilet or a pub, because that's a public house. That's what they were designed for. But he just went out to like a very well-known Asian market. Again, a lot of Asians driving buses in the UK. I mean, it is a bit of a stereotype. There used to be a sitcom called On the Buses. But no, he went out. I was just buying toilet paper. Just bought loads and loads of toilet paper from a well-known market. Got back in, carried on driving. I was sitting on the upper deck of the bus, and I was wondering if he was... Did he need it to clean up an emergency? But no, I got down. There was nothing. He had all the packs there sealed away, and everyone was talking about it as they got off. It's, ordinarily he'd be sacked for doing that. But as I say, it strikes. Shortages, all sorts of craziness going on. So there we go. you can stop and do your shopping if you're a bus driver, never mind the people on board. I'm glad I wasn't in a hurry. I'd taken an earlier bus. There we go. So those are my 3 crazy bus stories from this week. Lots of odd happenings in Bradford, but also some joyful ones. So I went to the cathedral, lovely service, I was walking out, and then what's kind of like a hidden door opened, and there was the director of music and the assistant director of music beaming. I've been trying to set up some kind of audition, test, chat with them to join the choir there, because I've joined choirs in other places, including as part of the Bradford University choir. I got invited to perform opera in Germany, so many years ago as a university student. I was flown to Ham, put up in just student accommodation, and got to sing Carmina Burana in Ham, which was a fantastic experience. I'd been a choir boy as a boy, and I've sung in church choir since, so pretty keen to get back into singing. Do enjoy it. Don't enjoy being a soloist or anything, I just like being part of the choir. And they asked me, well, it's been really difficult to arrange anything because Bradford Cathedral has had so many events this summer. It's been amazing. Been amazing to watch and join and listen. But they just said, do you want to join in the one this afternoon? So, okay, I went along to the practice and then joined the service. It's not a performance. I joined the service, which was their evensong, or really it's afternoon song. It's a very... a wonderful musical occasion, which you can see it on YouTube, on the Bradford Cathedral YouTube channel. They always have the latest service up for, I think, 2 weeks. It was a very joyful noise, and it was a very special one because they were celebrating 30 years of the girls' choir. Again, 30 years of the girls' cathedral choir, which is a momentous occasion. In fact, the mayor was there again, and the lady mayor. So they've been fairly frequent visitors to the cathedral lately. As I say, so many kind of state and city occasions, but it's been a joy to take part in. And they even, for the celebration of the 30 years, they even had one of those uncanny cakes. It was a cake, the slab cake looked fairly regular, but they had a cake that looked like a hymn book on top, and it really did look like a hymn book. It was really cool. Anyway, fantastic occasion, lovely to join. I'll be putting pictures on my Instagram, and as I say, if you want to check it out, check out Bradford Cathedral's social channels, their YouTube page, their Instagram page, wherever, Facebook page, wherever you get your social media, they are there. So, a very lively week, craziness on the buses, a wonderful time with the choir, and best thing of all, I've been accepted provisionally for this flat. Still lots and lots of checks to go through, and some trickiness because I've lived abroad, and so certain documentations like previous landlord, well, it'd be pretty tricky then to contact my previous landlord in Shenzhen, China. but there's alternative ways, and I'm working through them, but very pleased. I won't be settled in, even if all goes well, I won't be settled in until August, so there'll be a few more of these kind of on-the-move diary entry style episodes. I'll be keeping them up, I say just really making a record for myself, if anyone else, of what it was like moving back to the UK, because it's been tumultuous, it's been emotional, as Vinnie Jones said, and but it's good, step by step, going forwards. So I shall try and fill my week with interesting, exciting things, so I can report it in the next episode. But there are, as I said, there's interviews coming up, there's deep dives coming up, but once I'm settled, and I'm, after 15 months it'll be when I move in, 15 months of moving around and staying in other people's homes, and so on, I'll finally be back in a place of my own, can set up for what's really important, podcasting. But no, more importantly, my wife will be here. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Thank you very much for listening. Just a quick episode as I'm on my walk. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, thank you very, very much.